Greeting, this is Ron for the Encyclopedia team. It is with great pleasure we have Dr. Karel Allegaert for this interview. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm happy to join, no problem.
So, Dr. Allegaert, before we dive in, our readers would love to get to know you a bit better. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. I'm Karel Allegaert. My background is a pediatrician and neonatologist specifically, and I have additional training in clinical pharmacology. So I'm wearing a little bit two hats, the one of a pediatrician neonatologist and another hat as a clinical pharmacologist, and trying to combine both disciplines into one research activity and clinical research activity.
Thank you. Let's move on to the main focus of this interview. What makes you want to research on perinatal and neonatal pharmacology? And could you provide a little bit more background on such topic?
Yeah, sure. Happy to do so. I mean, both pregnant women, women who give lactation, as well as their babies, need drugs. That's quite simple, at least for those who are admitted in hospitals or have medical conditions. So it's quite common. And the setback is actually, if you compare it to adults, that we know much less. So we need more clinical research in this. And the good news is that actually, as I've been working in this field already for, I think, 2 decades in the meanwhile, that let's say the methods and the sophisticated advanced techniques have improved so much that we indeed can collect relevant and useful data for those who prescribe drugs as MDs or nurses or midwives or whatsoever on daily basis, they know that the leaflets do not provide a lot of information on how we have to give these drugs. But if we collaborate and if we do clinical research, we can still know better how to do prescriptions and what to prescribe in a given pregnant woman, in a given lactating woman, or in a newborn. So this is my field of research. It comes from dosing to effects to avoiding of side effects. That's a little bit what we are working in. So broad scope, but on the other hand, also quite focused and interesting.
So, what is the interesting or innovative part about your research, and how is your work different from previous findings?
Oh, yeah, that's a nice question. Well, as I said, I'm growing old, unfortunately, as we all do. So I've seen this field evolve to a happy few about 20 years ago, and now quite some different groups are working on this topic. And as I said, a lot of new methods became available, and it's perhaps a little bit too technical, but you can do blood analysis in very tiny volumes to facilitate it to do this in babies. You can do quantified drugs in milk. You can make prediction models. And the very funny thing, or the most attracting part of my work, is that this is really international work, because it's only by collaborating with the different groups throughout the world that you can really make progress. So if you look on the map, from Australia to China to Europe to US, Japan, uh, all places have some people who work on that, and it's really by collaborating that we are making progress in this specific field of clinical pharmacology. So this is what I like about it, because um, being placed in Belgium, it's a very tiny country, but the advantage of being a small country is that there are a lot of foreign countries to collaborate with and to work with. So that's what I like on our topic. So it's growing, it's evolving, it's relevant, and it's fun. So we can't have that much more in life.
Totally understandable. So, what do you think about the development of this research field, and what's your prediction?
Well, the good news is also that, let's say, drug companies and also authorities like FDA, EMA, Health Canada, the Japanese, or other authorities are more and more becoming interesting in and understand that the fact that children or neonates and pregnant women are actually underserved by not having these type of data, they become more and more interesting. So um, they try to also stimulate this field. So that's the positive setting of the research field that we are working in, that again, by collaboration, generally at the international level, that you really can improve practices. If you put this on the work that I have done, I'm really proud that I've been able to really come up with dosing regimes for even simple drugs like paracetamol, or the other half of the world calls it acetaminophen. It's the most commonly drug in the world, and we didn't have data on how to use it in newborns, and we didn't have robust data on how should we dose this in pregnant women, and is there different in toxicity. So I'm really proud that even for this most commonly used drug, that I've been able to provide some guidance, which is currently used throughout the world. So this is where you really can make a difference or can create impact, and that's what I like on this research field.
Thank you for your valuable opinion. We wish you and your fellow colleagues the best of luck on your future endeavors. And thank you again for joining us, Dr. Allegaert.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Bye.